Hey, how are you? In this video, I'm going to give you my best tips to help you pass the insurance license exam, whether it's P&C, property and casualty, or life and health. Every state's a little bit different, but these tips apply to everybody across the board taking the insurance license exam. So let's dive into it. Tip number one is you need to give yourself sufficient study time. I always recommend at the very minimum 2 weeks, but the sooner you can get studying and starting on those and kind of training your mind to see the vocabulary, understand the foundational, information on the insurance exam, the better. So that way you really feel confident going into it. Like I said, you want to give yourself plenty of time. You don't want to be in a hurry, feeling anxious, stressed out, or worried that you're not going to pass the exam. So at minimum 2 weeks before to start studying for the exam. Tip number two is investing in a good course. There are a bunch of insurance courses out there that are, the 52-hour pre-license course. It is essential to get a good quality one, because if you go with one of the cheapest ones, you get what you pay for. You're probably going to get cheapy material and very little support. Investing in one that comes with a crash course or maybe even some flashcards, those are really, really helpful. We use Mike Russ. If you Google Mike Russ, you can check them out. That's the one. Mike Russ, please sponsor us. That's the one we use, and it's been really, really helpful for our team getting licensed. We've had several people pass on the first try, and it's better to save time by spending a little bit more to get a good company and a good course that you're going to pass the first try. Tip number three is, like I said, use flashcards. Those are some of the best things you can do. It's a great way to train the mind, see the question, see the answer, and really, really helpful. It's a big vocab test. The insurance exam is a big vocabulary test with words like indemnity and perils. Like what do those mean? The English language, nobody uses that in their English language. So understand how that applies to insurance, and once you understand it, it will make perfect sense and you can really use it to answer these questions to the best of your ability. So understand the vocabulary by using vocab flashcards. Tip number four is get a cheat sheet. So all the stuff that you feel like maybe you need refreshers on, maybe do like a 50 question cheat sheet. I like to have that in my car 30 minutes before the exam to really refresh the mind and get the juices flowing before the test starts. You want to give yourself some sufficient time to rest before you take the exam. You don't want to have, brain fog, and you don't want to feel really stressed out. So give yourself time before the exam, but then 30 minutes when you're sitting in your car, when you pull up to the license exam center, refresh those 50 and really get the juices flowing, and it will reinforce your confidence. The other thing is just being confident, because it's such a scary test. The place is a scary location, and you're in there and you start to get freaked out. Get the most confident you can possibly be by refreshing your mind 30 minutes before. It's essential to passing the exam. Tip number five is practice exams. Use them to your advantage. And what I like to do is do shorter practice exams that are in like 25 questions. And then I like to, see my results, because a lot of these practice exams are like 150 questions. They take forever for you to even see the ones you got wrong. So if you do a shorter practice exam, like something like 25 questions, that way you can really get through it and really kind of go back and see what you got wrong and learn from the mistakes, versus an 150 question exam, it's like going to take you 3 hours, and then 3 hours later, finally you remember now on number 7, you got that one wrong. So shorter ones, use the practice exams and do them until you start to get 80% consistently on those. That's a great way an indicator that you are ready to pass the actual state license exam. Tip number 6 is read the question all the way through. A lot of times they're really long and wordy, and there could be a key difference in the way that question is answered correctly by reading the last 3 words on the question. So make sure you read it all the way through. Take your time, be patient, and read the whole thing, and then really read the answers too. Like, it takes dedication, it takes patience to read and really kind of stay calm and understand what it's asking, and that way you can really do the process of elimination and give yourself the best statistical odd on every single question. So read them through and eliminate the ones you know for sure are wrong, and give yourself the best odd if you're not sure if it's like a 50-50. And my last tip for you today is if you don't know the answer to one of the questions at all, you see it and you're like, I have absolutely no idea what the answer is here. The best thing to do is stay consistent and pick one letter for those types of questions that you don't know at all. I like to choose C. I'm just like, you know what? If I don't know the answer, I'm going with C. My name is Chris. C is the first letter of my name. I like that letter, so I'm gonna go with C every single time that I have no idea. So if you do have somewhat of an idea where you can eliminate one of the answers, then go with obviously doing the process of elimination. But if you're completely blind on it, you're like, I have no idea, pick C or whatever strategy works best for you. Sometimes the longest answer tends to be the right answer. So maybe your strategy is, I'm gonna go with the longest answer every time I don't know at all. But that's a good little method to keep consistent and try to give yourself the best odds to passing the exam. That's pretty much it, guys. I hope those tips do help you. Make sure to get yourself a good course, study hard, and go in with confidence, and I'm confident that you will pass the exam. If you did pass your exam, please give us a like. Please, throw a comment below, that you passed and that you got a good score, and, comment your score below and see what you got and how many times it took you. It took me 3 times to pass my exam, unfortunately, and most of my team has passed on the first try, which makes me look bad, but it is what it is. So comment below how many times it took you to pass your exam and what your score was. And I hope that does help. Please subscribe. Please give us a like. We really appreciate you guys, and we will see you at the top. Peace.